Hi, I'm Jamie. This is Dead Dodge Garage, and this is my 1981 Mitsu Dodge Galantager. I rescued this now two-owner, 98,000 mile, nice clean interiored 81 Challenger from my favorite local junkyard. It was partial payment for a horrible job I shouldn't have done and don't want to talk about. And since then, I unseized the brakes, got it running, put it back on the road, fixed essentially everything that was wrong with it, coaxed a few extra horse ponies out of it, and spent some money on tires. I also did some body work on the left side here, which, let's be honest, still looks terrible. When possible, I do prefer to spend most of my time over here on the passenger side, which looks much better. The basic idea was to save this little known oddball car and have some fun. This thing has a 4-cylinder Hemi. Yes, it has hemispherical combustion chambers, and it also has a 5-speed manual transmission, which is a great recipe for partying. I've extolled this Japanese Dodge's virtues and shown the process of getting it roadworthy again in a series of previous videos. And if you haven't seen those, well, you can go check them out. Certain people hate this car and everything it stands for, primarily because Dodge had the audacity to slap the Challenger name on it. Other groups, particularly younger folks, but also those of the right age to have driven these things in the 1980s, understand and appreciate them for what they are. Simple, cheap, basic, reliable, boxy, inoffensive, no frills transportation. And many viewers, like me, see the potential in this thing. See, this is a gigantic 4-cylinder. Again, with that Hemi head, there is a lot of power potential to be found here. So my stated goal from the beginning has been to work through this thing and build it up to the point that it will hopefully make about 200 horsepower naturally aspirated. At the crankshaft anyway. I don't think that's all that lofty of a goal. A whole bunch of people signed on and subscribed to my channel specifically because of this car, and a lot of people are waiting to see those performance modifications. So I wanted to make this video today to tell you what's going on and why you haven't seen that. The reason you haven't seen that is pretty simple. This thing has a Weber carb on it. I changed out the progressive Weber for a not progressive Weber and fixed it, tuned it, went through it and got it working right. I allegedly deleted some emissions components. I gave the thing a tune-up, I bumped the timing a little bit, and it does this. It's so fun. It's so simple. It's not like it makes a ton of horsepower, but it's great. This thing is a riot to drive. And I don't want to break it. So I haven't taken it apart. And I don't think I'm going to for a while. Stupid clock. Thank you. You see, this car is kind of all things to all men. It's sporty enough. It's economical enough. It drives pretty nicely. It rides nicely. It's smooth. It's not obnoxious. I'm comfortable in here. I fit really well. It's perfectly drivable right now how it is. If I change the camshaft, if I start getting really ridiculous, well, those things are going to go away. The economy is going to be in the toilet, and I don't want that. As it stands, this thing is an incredible driver. That is not to suggest it's a barnstormer or the fastest car in the universe. It will never be the fastest car in the universe. What it is fast enough. I think as car enthusiasts, we have a tendency to push things, to tweak things. We can't stop hot rodding. We can't stop buying more parts and modifying things and pushing for the next level. I admit to being guilty of that myself on many projects. But for once, I think I want to do the actually correct thing, which is just leave it alone. It doesn't need anything. And all the modifications I have in mind, yes, they'll net us a larger horsepower number, but they're not going to improve the way it behaves on the street from stoplight to stoplight, at least not in any meaningful way. In fact, they might make it worse. And double the speed limit. To you guys that ask why I don't rev it out in every gear, that's why. Lunch. For some reason, it's actually nice today. Should have ordered that AC button. Dude, that is beautiful. Which one of these cars do you think is more fun to drive? Oh, you're not gonna like the answer. If you want the entire world to look at you and drool, Well, the 68 Charger is a great option. And of course, it's got that big block rumble. I don't know that it's like faster than that thing. It's certainly got a whole hell of a lot more torque. I can tell you the 81 weighs like 1,000 pounds less, so that's certainly a factor. Look at this. The amount of space in the interior is almost the same. Yeah, there's less legroom in the back, but it's not that much. Let's say it's raining, which it does a lot here. Which one of these are you gonna drive? I'm lucky enough to own some cool cars. Some of them are even drivable right now. But when I just want to rip around town on an average day, bang some gears and have some fun, it's this car I jump in. Years and years ago, Uncle Tony made a video called Leave It Alone. And I truly agree with everything he says in that video. It's something I think about a lot. It's not like the idea of if it ain't broke, don't fix it is new. It's not at all new. But I feel like it's something you might need to hear. If you're considering hacking up your perfectly good daily driver to turn it into a drift missile or whatever, maybe stop and think about that. Of course, for me, this is 10 times as important to consider because I have so many cars and pieces around here already. Just the ones for me will keep me going for like the rest of my life. Then, of course, there are projects for other people. I am thankful to be able to say a couple cars for other people have left here in the last couple days. But there are more. Please still be oil, please still be oil. Oh yeah, that's oil. So a little dirty. Why is the filter absolutely impossible to reach from under here? Oh, I'm gonna fall off a ladder. Why? Okay, all right. I bent the tool. I did not fall off a ladder yet. Good Lord, this is dumb. Nailed it. Glug, glug. Only the finest, cheapest oil the local parts store has to offer for my baby here. Oil pressure. Oil pressure. Okay, there's still an air bubble in the front right brake, and I probably could have tried to get that out. I don't know why I'm bothering. It's just gonna get muddy again anyway. Good enough. My goal on the channel is now, as it has always been, what it says in the description on my channel. I'm here to play with junk and teach you stuff while cracking silly jokes along the way. I am not here to turn everything into a 500 horsepower monster. I am not here to screw a turbo onto every car in the universe. And I am not here to ruin a perfectly good daily driver for your or my entertainment. Well, maybe sometimes I'm here for that, but not today. That has never been where my interest with cars lies. My interest has always been in making them work, putting them back on the road, and saving old gems for future generations. I've already accomplished those things with this car. Yes, I may do more in the future. I'm not saying I'm never going to build it, but right now, it works and it's fun, so I'm going to leave it that way. If you don't need 200 horsepower to be happy, and you want to have fun in a light, nimble, rear-wheel drive car like this one, if you have the opportunity to buy one, I suggest you do. Hopefully it'll have 3 pedals though. Anyway, hopefully you're not too disappointed by this revelation. I can already predict in the comments a good bit of disappointment. A bunch of people who haven't seen previous videos saying, "Oh, that's not a Challenger." Probably a few Aussies reminding us that in their neck of the woods it was called a Scorpion, which I still think is awesome. I probably should just eBay some Scorpion badges. What a nice day. I get asked what's going on with this car all the time, so I just kind of had to make this video to let you know. For now, it's going to stay exactly as it is, and I hope that makes sense. I still have some plans for it, and I hope to bring those to you someday. For now, I'm just gonna drive and enjoy it. You know the best thing about this car? If I run out of talent and it ends up, scraped on a guardrail or flipped upside down in a ditch, it would be sad, but it wouldn't be a great financial loss. The same cannot be said of my classic Chryslers. Oh, I absolutely love the sound now that the side pipe is gone, which is unfortunate. That sounded cool, it just hurt. This is way better. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I thank you for watching. And remember, call it whatever you want. I'm just calling it good fun. Deer! Ah, I forgot the oil change sticker.